Hi, I'm going to read to you today the biography of Sir Isaac Newton to continue with our short story time right before our math games class. Sir Isaac Newton. A farmer walking on a serene evening in England's Lincolnshire countryside suddenly saw lights flickering in the sky. Curious, he joined the rest of the villagers who had gathered wondering what those lights could be. Some of them were afraid, for there were no electricity or airplanes to light up the sky back then. "My friends," said Mr. Clark, the pharmacist, "you have nothing to fear. Isaac has rigged some kites with lanterns. He's a clever lad, you know. He's always inventing new toys with which to play." Indeed, when Isaac Newton was a boy, he was more interested in making mechanical devices than in studying. He gets so involved in reading or inventing new gadgets that forgets to watch the sheep or milk the cows at our farm, his mother explained to Mr. Clark. She asked him to allow young Isaac to live with them so he could attend King's School. School, however, wasn't young Isaac's favorite place to go. He'd much rather spend his days in Mr. Clark's attic, surrounded by shelves filled with apothecary books and apparatuses and colored bottles filled with chemicals. Newton had a burning desire to learn when he went to college, yet he wasn't an outstanding student. He got hold of an astronomy book once and became fascinated by the planets, the sun, and the moon. Soon, Newton realized he needed to learn more mathematics so he could fully understand his book. One day, while Newton was relaxing under an apple tree, an apple fell to the ground. He thought about why the apple had fallen. What made it fall? He wondered. He concluded the force that caused the apple to fall was the same force that kept the planets orbiting the sun and the moon orbiting our planet. He called this the force of gravity, or the law of gravity. The apple incident led Newton to discover the laws of motion. The first law says that a moving object remains moving unless something else makes it stop. Or an object at rest remains at rest unless something else makes it move. The second law is about how force affects movement. Big objects need big forces to make them move, and small objects need small forces to make them move. The third law says that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. If you pull, an equal force pushes against you. Newton invented a brand new field in mathematics called calculus. Without calculus, engineers couldn't have designed rocket ships to fly astronauts to the moon. Newton also did many experiments with light and discovered that although sunlight appears white, it is really a combination of many colors. He learned that something green, for example, such as grass, looks green because it reflects the green and it absorbs most of the colors in the sunlight. Sir Isaac Newton continues to be one of the greatest mathematicians who ever lived. Yet, when asked how he did all his work, Newton insisted he was no different from the average person. "When I am working on something," he said, "I'm always thinking about it. This takes me much patience. I keep the subject of my inquiry constantly before me and wait." The source for this biography came from the book Mathematicians Are People Too. There are 2 volumes, volume 1 and volume 2, and Sir Isaac Newton appears in the first volume. There's also another website that I consulted, and I'm going to post those links in my blog. And in my website, raisingaself-reliantchild.com, you can also download the biography that I compiled. Thank you for watching, and thank you for watching.